never ever combine your personal and business income. If you can, actually, you should always separate your business money from your personal money. In terms of if you're using bank or mobile money, open a dedicated bank account for business. Don't put personal money in there, because with the authority, unless you have evidence, whatever is in that account, they take it as business income. Because remember, non-compliance is a big issue, and it's not so much that people want to do. People just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They start a business, they are mechanics, they are experts in what,
Yes.
they have no clue about, and also taxes. There are too many tax types. They don't know what to register.
Yeah.
You know, and also there's always the fear the moment you go to ZRA, like you use the word of pounds. That's the wrong word, by the way.
So what do you think are some of the mistakes that businesses make when they are dealing with ZRA?
The biggest one, treating ZRA as an enemy, just doesn't help.
They are going to pounce on you.
No. It's not even about pouncing. That's the way.
These
And
are
I'm
the
not-
words we business people use because you just want to get them not to pounce on you.
So this is, and you know what brings that? It's not compliant.
Yeah, because why would they
Yeah,
pounce on
business
you
that
if
is
you're
compliant
not
and has been-
compliant?
Because
Yeah.
also ZRA, remember, they work within there's a law that guides them.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So they can't just, it's not like police where they say you're guilty until proven innocent. It's different. Look, for small business, maybe getting a tax person is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what we're saying is, it's your business, it's your money.
Yeah.
Take an interest. Like you're talking about those courses that are variable. And also, if you've got that good relationship with ZRA, the relationship is good if you're compliant, right?
Oh.
You can walk into their offices and ask them questions.
Hello and welcome to the Money and People podcast, the show where we connect the dots between financial success and the power of human capital. Today on the show, we are joined by Arnold Kasalwe, who is a tax expert. And today we are going to be discussing money, tax, and business in Zambia. What every entrepreneur should know. Welcome to the show, Arnold.
Thank you, Delia. Happy to be here. It's my first podcast.
Oh, really? It's also our first podcast. But other than that, for people who don't know you, who is Arnold Kasal?
Arnold Kasalwe, obviously, like you said, tax expert. Born and raised in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yeah, Lusaka person. And did my education between Kafue and Lusaka. Actually went to CBU, where I should have been with
Really?
you, but I came back.
What happened?
We'll talk about it.
I didn't even know that story. A person, you were with him for 5 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, story for another day.
Yeah. But briefly, actually, that's where it actually starts, like in my in my career. Actually went to CBU. Wanted to do engineering, but it didn't work.
Okay.
I wasn't picked in engineering. I was picked in forestry.
Okay.
So I had to come back.
What do you mean you had to come back?
I didn't like it.
I think you and Henry share the same story. He was also picked in forestry. He just refused, and then he didn't go back, and he decided to go into HR.
Yeah, same as me. Came back
Okay.
to Ivrinon and went into accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but tell me, let's backtrack a little bit. You always wanted to be an engineer, or like, how did you even switch from trying to pursue engineering to then going to accounting?
Yeah, I had no interest in accounts.
Okay.
I never did an accounts subject during my school. I always wanted to be an engineer.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to, where you're, like, there's a time I stayed in Uganda,
Okay.
Then before, you know, vehicles were common, like people didn't own a lot of vehicles back in the days.
Mhm.
So there was a man that used to work for Zesco,
Mhm.
you know, and I've always loved car. I used to love the Hilux, stuff like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So watching that man come at home, we would see him leaving. Say, "Ah, where does this man work? It's Zesco,
Mhm.
and it's a branded Zesco vehicle."
Mhm.
So for me, in my mind was, I think I'll be an electrical engineer. So I
Okay.
started doing a lot of repairing at home. I used to do a lot of repairing on stage,
Okay.
yeah. And yeah, so after completing grade 12,
Mhm.
I just wanted to go to CBU. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I went to CBU, then did an application in engineering. But
Mhm.
at the time, the career guide was actually honest with me. She was like, there are a lot of people that have got good grades compared to you that have applied in engineering. So
Mhm.
she was like, take engineering as
Mhm.
first choice,
Mhm.
then second choice, do forestry. Then
Mhm.
when you do well, normally people drop out in the second year. So you
Mhm.
could find your way here. But I wasn't just into it. So I came back. Yeah. So I
Okay.
came back, had no idea what to do. Then my uncle was like, "Hey, you have to find something to do. You can't just be sitting at home." I started admiring jobs in ShopRite. I was like, maybe I should be working at the till
Okay.
because my aunt was working there, so I was pushing her.
Yes.
But my uncle was not having it. I was like, go to CB, go to Ivrinon,
Yeah.
just find anything computer related, know something
Mhm.
about computers. Yeah. So I went there. Then I found a friend of mine.
Mhm.
Um, And when I told him I want to do, he was doing computer studies at
Mhm.
Revenue. Then I was like, but you are good with numbers. Just
Mhm.
do NATEC, which is
Mhm.
the CA now. It
Yeah.
was called NATEC at the time.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay. So I applied in NATEC,
Mhm.
um, did my first my first year.
Mhm.
And so my first year results actually were not even good. I think I've spoken about this with, I was doing some Zika thing
Okay.
because I wasn't so much into it. For me, it was passing time.
Yeah.
Then I should find myself back to CBU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I didn't perform well. That kind of like challenged me
Mhm.
because you know where they know that you are good, you're smart, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Then when you don't perform well,
Mhm.
like everyone start questioning you. So I wanted to prove people wrong. But in trying to do that, I fell in love with accounts, and I
Okay.
said, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I went into accounts. And
Mhm.
yeah, and also before I could finish like just when after I finished my by then it was called technician, which is a certificate now.
Mhm.
So I got a job. So I loved it.
It was in tax, your first job.
No.
Okay.
Five for the first 4 years I worked in finance and admin. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So how did you find yourself in tax?
so remember when I got that job, so the reason why I got a job is, you know, financial challenges and stuff like that. Because my sister was sponsoring everything. Then she'd been a nurse, she
Mhm.
had children in school.
Mhm.
So after finishing a certificate, things were a
Mhm.
bit rough.
Mhm.
So my late brother-in-law
Mhm.
um, says, you know what, come and work with me. Then you'll be doing part-time classes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I went and started working with him. So I worked with him for 4 years. Then I made a bit of money.
Mhm.
So I was like, because I found it difficult to do school and
And work.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll knock off and you don't have a car that time. You walk
Mhm.
long distances.
Mhm.
You go to every known in the evening. You're in class, you're dozing. You're tired.
Yeah, you're tired. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can take a toll. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just decided to say, you know what? Let me make a bit of money.
Mhm.
Then I should go back to school.
Mhm.
So after 4 years, I had a bit of money. So I
Mhm.
just decided to go back to school. So I resigned.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a risk, but I had some money. So I said, okay, I'll just do 1 year so that I finish licentiate at the time, I think, which is
Okay.
now your diploma
Yeah.
in accounts. Yeah. So I did that and
Mhm.
um, did 1 year, and lucky enough, at least that I managed to pass.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when I finished, I started looking for a job because I didn't want to go back to work
Mm-hmm.
for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Then at one point, I had like 3 interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And and with G4S, the security guys,
Mm-hmm.
I did interviews with them. I think within the same week, then I did the interviews with BDO.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also did an interview. There's a company, I can't just remember, but it's a subsidiary of Zambia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So G4S didn't call me,
Mm-hmm.
but that company, the subsidiary for Zambia, called me,
Mm-hmm.
and BDO.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I went with BDO because I thought these are accountants. Let
Mm-hmm.
me go and learn. But at BDO, the only uh, uh, positions that were there were tax. So
Oh.
tax was like an entry so that I can go into finance.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because like
Okay.
you don't hear so much about tax. I didn't know
Yes.
much about.
Yeah, like what is this even about?
Yeah, yeah,
But at
and
least I'll get a salary at the end of the
and
month.
you were in the audit firm. It's
Yeah.
like the tax, the audit guys are the A team. Then the
Yes.
B team are the rest.
Yeah, they
So
are like more like consultants in
yeah,
the sense that you just
yeah,
asking them for advice through your audit,
yes,
but
yes,
then the auditors were like the main batch
exactly,
of people in
exactly.
these firms.
So I
Yeah.
always wanted to go to do that, but then my boss at the time,
Mm-hmm.
Deborah Nonde,
Mm-hmm.
I had a good relationship with her, and she was so keen on teaching me tax.
Okay.
Yeah, she was actually she's the first person that gave me an interest in tax. She
Okay.
was keen on teaching me tax. She was giving me all this, all those assignments. And look, I'm a person that would stay late,
Mm-hmm.
report early,
Mm-hmm.
stay late. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that also kind of, yeah. So yeah, then I started looking at her, and I've always liked money. I like money.
Yeah.
Then I would look at Debbie, the car that she's driving.
Yeah.
I was like, this tax thing.
It can actually bring in the money. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Instead of me switching, and the other
Yeah.
reason I didn't switch,
Yeah.
because I was doing Zika. Then
Oh.
most of the people in audit were doing SCC, were SCCA
Oh,
guys.
yeah, yeah.
So I had intentions of switching, but it was sometimes you feel like, and that competition that used to be who's better between
Yes.
SCCA guys. And
SCCA,
yeah,
DX,
yeah.
Zika. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so then after about 3 or 4 years with BDO,
Yeah.
I moved to EY. I was actually
Okay.
poached.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
poached. Then that's where I just made a decision. Now I met Patrick Mawire.
Okay.
That is just the guy that just made me into a tax person.
Okay.
That guy just literally took me and started teaching me tax. This. Yeah,
Okay.
like I learned so much from him, but also he convinced me that there was a career in tax. And when I saw what he had done, I
Mm-hmm.
actually believed there was a career in tax. So I just made up my mind. I'm a chartered accountant. I'll keep that.
Mm-hmm.
In case something goes wrong, I can go back
Yes,
in finance.
yes.
But I'll specialize in tax. So now I've specialized in tax.
Okay,
Yeah.
you've been doing tax now for how many years?
I think it's 11 to 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And I've mixed it practice, and then gone into the industry, and
Yeah.
I'm still in the industry.
Okay.
Hmm.
And since you did your Zika licentiate, did you,
Hmm.
because you've told me up to the Zika
Oh,
licentiate,
okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I actually, when I went to EY, I made
yeah.
sure I completed. So I
Ah,
went up to because now they changed from Zika to CA.
yes,
Yeah.
CA. So you completed the CA qualification.
Yes.
Did you ever do any like tax courses?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
because I'm
So
sure someone out there is wondering, okay, if I've studied accounts, how do I just become, do I just wake up and
yeah.
start doing
Okay.
tax?
So the one that I specifically did was in an international tax course
Ah,
with the Chartered Institute of Tax,
mm-hmm.
UK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that one is specifically international tax.
Okay.
Yeah, But in terms of the local tax, I think the basic was the actual cost within Zika,
Okay.
the
Okay.
taxation program. There's a tax and advanced tax. So I did
Yeah.
those two. But the majority of it was where it was more like training, job and
Yeah,
training.
practical
Yeah,
training.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm,
So let's talk now a little bit more about the topic of the day.
mhm.
Why is tax compliance such a big issue for businesses in Zambia?
Two things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm not sure if you have heard of this.
Okay.
So for me, I've always said taxes, and actually, if you sit down and just look through the documents,
Mm,
taxes are the foundation of every business success.
mm-hmm.
Taxes are the one that fund the public goods and services,
Mm-hmm.
right? So without taxes,
Mm-hmm.
there is no economy to talk about. You can't even
Yeah.
have a country.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why they say taxes are the price we pay for civilization.
Yeah.
Because without taxes, we can't have civilization.
Yeah.
We can't even sit the way we are here
Yeah.
without taxes.
Yeah.
So taxes are the ones that makes business possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is the first part, and I'll explain more a little bit more about that. But
Okay.
the second part is that taxes are the primary license for you to operate.
Okay. Okay.
You can never operate without taxes.
Without taxes.
Yes.
There are some people out there who think, okay, tax is just
Mhm.
trying to reduce my profit.
And that is incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay, because without taxes, that same profit you're talking about, you can't make it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just let me just backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So when I spoke about taxes being the foundation that makes business possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what I mean is think of the things that make business possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm using the word business deliberately. I'm not saying trading. Okay, so
Yeah.
because business, like for a tax person, it's got its own definition that covers a lot of even just you doing these things
Mm-hmm.
for leisure because
Mm-hmm.
you're doing it repeatedly. We
Yeah.
call it's business.
Yeah.
The only reason you're not being taxed is maybe you're not making an
Yeah.
income from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
The day you make an income, you start
You start.
advertising here and make an income.
ZRA will pounce on us.
Not pouncing. We won't use the word pounce. Okay, so now if you let's look at things that make it possible, right?
Yeah.
And we call these public goods and services. So
Mm-hmm.
in your goods, you've got your infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Just for us to get here,
Mm-hmm.
for you to move your goods,
Mm-hmm.
you need infrastructure, you need roads.
Yeah.
Okay. You can talk of things like education.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're talking of education, there are private schools, but the majority it's public
Public. Yeah.
public education, right?
Yeah.
So you need a workforce that is educated,
Yeah.
right? So that even if you're running your own business,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to get your own people start educating them,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a pool
Mm-hmm.
of educated people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you talk of things like healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
You need a workforce that is healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, you can talk of things like protection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, security.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, police protection, your defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the reason why somebody can't walk in here and just grab these things and take away because
Mm-hmm.
we've got law and order, right?
Yeah.
The police will protect us.
Yeah.
Okay, um, somebody can't just invade our country. We've got the military guys.
Yes.
Okay, we've got the judiciary.
Yeah.
Okay, if we go into a contract, you and me, we've got a
Yeah.
dispute. There is at least the courts that can enforce the terms and
Mm-hmm.
conditions of our contract.
Mm-hmm.
So all those are public goods and services that we all need, right?
Yeah.
But no one person can provide them.
Yeah.
So what we'd say is, okay, we are a civilized society. We've agreed to say, let's have rules and stuff like that we'll have in place. But we need these things to be funded for them to function,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then we agreed to say, all of us,
Mhm.
okay? And actually, it starts from the constitution.
Mhm.
You see, now our constitution is drafted in the preamble. There is
Yeah.
we, the people of Zambia.
Yes,
That's,
we've agreed.
we've agreed. That's why I say, even on taxes, we've agreed to
Yeah.
contribute
Yeah.
collectively to one
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, so we are saying, for me, for my business to work,
Yeah.
I need to contribute.
Yeah.
So that's why I was listening to the Commissioner General. He was talking to the parliamentarians, and was telling them that actually it's not a payment that you do; it's an investment in your future.
Mm.
Exactly, that's how it works. Because basically, how it works, once you have all these infrastructures we've spoken about,
Mhm.
okay, they make it easy for you to do your business. You have a conducive environment in which to do your business, which enables your business to do what? To succeed.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying it's the very foundation that makes
Yeah.
business to succeed.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one part where you look at it. That's why sometimes when you sit back and you're like, we all get benefits
Mhm.
of taxes, right?
Mhm.
We all use the same road.
Mhm.
Okay, we are all protected by the police.
Mhm.
We all, our property rights are respected and stuff like that. Okay,
Mhm.
but then the compliance comes in when you are not honoring your, they call it a social contract. So we've got
Mhm.
a social contract within the constitution where we've said we, the people of Zambia, will contribute.
Mhm.
The government has a responsibility to give us these public goods and services.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we are able to do our business.
Yeah.
So now, if you've got people that are contributing, others are not, then you've got free riders.
Yeah.
So other people are taking without contributing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one angle of compliance where you're like, why is it important?
Yeah.
Okay. But just a little bit, sorry, Derry, just a little bit on
Yeah.
that. There's what we call the tax gap.
Mhm.
So you see, ZRI says we'll collect this, but
Mhm.
they've only collected that.
Mhm.
Okay. So the amount that they don't collect due to non-compliance, right?
Mhm.
So that's what we call tax gap. You know what that represents? It's the public goods and services that have not been provided.
Mhm.
Okay. So when you look at our tax to GDP ratio,
Mhm.
it's around 16 to 18. That's
Mhm.
for Zambia.
Mhm.
Do you know what the minimum is for a country to provide the basic needs?
No.
It's about 20.
Oh.
So that's what the studies have shown. You look at the OECD, they say for a country to provide the basic public
Yeah.
goods and services,
Yeah.
you need at least to collect at least 20%.
Okay.
Okay, when you do your tax to GDP. But we are below.
Okay. Yeah, we are below
Okay.
the.
Then when you look at African average, African
Mhm.
countries, they say for developing countries, even if you collect 21, okay,
Oh.
you will be able to properly provide
Yeah.
public goods and services that will be sufficient to spur your economic development. We look
Okay.
at the OECD countries or the European countries, they collect around 35. That's average.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the most will collect around 47 or 50, somewhere
Oh,
there,
wow.
then you're doing well. So that's
Yeah.
why they say that if Zambia can even push up to 22 or even 25,
Mm.
we could hit that target in the that's eighth national development plan of being
Mhm.
a middle income
Oh.
country. Yeah, yeah. Because what that means, it gives us a better economy in which the more if the economy is growing, the chances of you and I to succeed are high.
Yeah. The business environment will even be more favorable for everyone.
Exactly, exactly. So
Okay.
that's on the overall. Now, as
Yeah.
on the business side,
Yes.
compliance.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's sort tax is, they say it's your primary license to operate,
Yeah.
and the reason they say that is there were a number of amendments that were done to the income tax.
Mhm.
Okay, so basically now what it, as I'm speaking now,
Mhm.
in Zambia you cannot get a permit without a tax clearance certificate. So a tax clearance
Mhm.
certificate is the document that says you, it's a prima facie document that says you are compliant.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are compliant, that's tax compliance, right?
Yeah.
So without that document, you can't get a license, you can't get a permit, you can't deal with any government institution,
Mhm.
you can't even just trade in with another business. Actually, the law now says, as a business, if you're my supplier,
Yeah.
you have to show me a tax clearance for me to deal with you.
Oh.
So if you're dealing with the mines are big on that. The mines, the banks, all these big institutions.
Okay.
So if you're a business and you are not compliant, you literally cannot do
You're
business.
limiting yourself,
Yes,
actually.
you can't. So now actually tax is a competitive advantage for a business.
Yeah.
The compliance part side of it. If you are
Yeah.
compliant, you participate in tenders. Without tax certificate, you can't participate.
Oh.
Even just getting now things like your electricity into your house and stuff like that, they're requesting for all these. Yes,
Really?
the compliance side.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
they'll need you to register. Okay, do you have a TPIN? To
Yeah.
open a bank account, you need a
Yeah.
TPIN.
Yeah.
To transfer money, if you're transferring money outside Zambia above $2,000, if you don't have a tax certificate compliance, they charge you 15%. They call it, yes,
Really?
they call it advanced income tax.
Wow.
Because they're saying we don't know your tax status.
Oh.
So because we don't know your tax status, we assume you are non-compliant. So we are going to withhold a 15% from your payment
Yeah.
until you regularize you, and you've got like 18 months to reclaim that money back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Once you prove that. Okay.
If you're bringing things in the country, you don't have a tax clearance certificate, they
Yeah.
charge you 15%. So
Okay.
literally, it's not sustainable to be
Yeah.
non-compliant. So the compliance is big. On the other side, we all have to contribute to avoid people benefiting without contributing their fair share. But also on the business side, you can't just operate
Yeah.
without being
So, what do
compliant.
you think are some of the mistakes that businesses make when they are dealing with ZRA?
Um, the biggest one, you know, treating ZRA as an enemy just doesn't help.
They are going to pounce on you.
No. It's not even about pouncing. You have to use the way.
These
And
are
I'm
the
not.
words we
Look.
business people use because you just want to get them not to pounce on you.
So this is one thing. So and you know what brings that? It's not compliance.
Yeah, because why would
Show
they
me a
pounce on
business
you
that
if
is
you're
compliant
not
and has been
compliant?
because
Yeah.
also ZRA, remember they work within there's a law that guides how they work.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so they can't just. It's not like police where they say you are guilty until proven innocent. It's different.
Yeah.
So I think the one of them, I mean I can list a few, but one of them, I think the biggest one that you
Mm,
make,
mm,
even just in your personal capacity,
mm.
to avoid ZRA correspondence, you're digging your own grave.
Oh.
So ZRA, like, that's what I'm saying, they don't just pounce.
Yeah.
Okay, pouncing should be on the last. So they'll send
Okay.
you a notice,
Mm,
or they'll send you an email, or they'll
mm,
call you. Okay,
mm.
so maybe one of the things before you even do that is make sure if you've got a business, you've got your correct contact details with the ZRA, because they will need to contact you. Okay, so the pouncing will happen if they can't get a hold of you.
Mhm,
Okay, but if they can get hold of you, they
mhm.
send you emails, please respond.
Yeah.
If it's a phone call, pick it up. If they want to come and visit your operations, let them come. If they're asking you to visit them, you go there.
Yeah.
You can always discuss. Oh, okay, this time to. It's the relationship should be friendly. Okay,
Mm,
so like so ZRA is the agents that fulfills that social contract we have, where they get monies that we have agreed as a citizen to contribute to a pool. So they're the one that gets like, so if effectively they're supposed to be a partner. Okay, but
yeah.
because of non-compliance, that's where issues.
Oh.
Okay, so never ignore ZRA. It never goes away by ignoring them. Changing your phone number doesn't help. Okay, it just doesn't help, because the problem with that is if you ignore them,
Mm,
the reminders that they've given you before you, what was just an email will turn into an assessment. And now they've got access to, so the law allows them to, they can garnish your bank accounts.
mhm,
If you've got customers that you have supplied goods or provided service, they can garnish those customers, tell them whatever money they are holding that side, they shouldn't pay you.
Oh.
And sometimes you find that the money they are chasing is less, but the customer won't pay you the entire amount that you have.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've seen a situation where there is a liability of 400,000, but they withhold. You've got a mine client is trying to pay you $4 million. They don't pay you, and with the mines, once you miss that cycle, it has to be on the next cycle.
Ish.
You are a finance person, you know the impact of cash
Yeah.
flow.
Ish. That's hectic, eh?
Yeah. Then also avoid the whole thing of I know someone at ZRA. That thing doesn't work. That thing doesn't work.
Okay.
I know someone at ZRA.
Yeah.
No, it
You
doesn't work.
just follow the guidelines. Yeah.
It's okay to we all know people.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of friends at ZRA.
Yeah.
But uh it's the system that allocates which officer you're dealing with. But
Oh.
even if you knew them, so what?
Yeah, because and I think these days such things are just they're a bit more straightforward. I
Yes.
think the information is there.
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember even when I started to register a business on Parker,
Mm.
people would be like, "Oh, I know someone at Parker. Here's the number."
No.
Let me tell you, I've done everything online for
Yes.
like 2 businesses without even meeting anyone at Parker or talking
Exactly.
to anyone.
Exactly.
The portal is so straightforward that you upload the
Mhm.
company registration
Mhm.
form. If you've made a mistake, they'll even tell you correct this part,
Exactly.
right like this,
Exactly.
and you do everything. So I'm guessing even with the ZRA, because I know there's a portal,
Yes.
they've even got these courses to teach you
Yes.
the basic tax stuff.
Exactly.
So why do you need to know a guy?
Exactly. So that guy should be a guy that you ask, oh, maybe who's dealing with this? Where can I
Yeah.
go? I'm dealing with this issue.
Yes.
Which department do I go to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't help. It's like you at
Yeah.
your if I know you where you work, are you going to give me things for free?
No, there's a process
There's a
either way.
process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So tell me a little bit on the VAT.
mhm,
In terms of businesses,
mhm.
when should you consider registering for VAT?
Okay. So there are two uh, points at which you should register for VAT.
Mm-hmm.
So VAT, there's what we call mandatory registration.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, so if you're dealing in taxable supplies,
Mm-hmm.
so taxable supplies are those your zero rated and those that are 16%.
Yeah.
Then there's exempt. So if you sell those goods that attract VAT,
Mm-hmm.
so there's one mandatory threshold, which is like 800,000 per
Mm-hmm.
annum.
Mm-hmm.
If
That's
you
your turnover.
That's your turnover.
Yeah.
So if you hit that amount,
Yeah.
or you've done your numbers, you expect that you're going to hit that,
Mm-hmm.
it's a mandatory that you should register.
Oh.
The alternative is voluntary registration.
Okay.
So that could be where you are not qualified to register,
Yeah.
but you can do a voluntary registration like for 12 months. Then you renew it every year. So that one, um, you you do the registration. You assess yourself. You look at your clientele base, right? Your customer base. Let's say, for example, you are dealing with big companies, the mines. You're dealing with the government. Um, it makes sense for you to register voluntary
Mm-hmm.
because you know that once you register, remember whatever you buy, somebody will charge you 16% over and above the cost of what you're buying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you have registered, that 16% is not a cost to you because you can claim it back.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Then also you can charge VAT. But you
Yeah.
also have to balance and play it smart
Mm-hmm.
because registering for VAT means you become an agent for the government to collect money on their behalf.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
So it means
Yeah.
on every good you collect 16%. I come to buy something from you. Over and above, you charge me 16%, you take it to the government.
Yeah.
Okay. But that becomes administration issues and compliance issues. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to do that? It's up to you. You try to balance it on both sides.
That's for the voluntary one, but
It's,
the one for
yes,
above 800,
you
you
have no
must
choice.
become that agent.
Yes, that one is automatic. You need to become. Yeah.
Okay.
So for the voluntary, you look at you weigh those things whether it makes sense for you.
But what would be the advantage of you deciding to do it voluntarily?
So like I said, because once you are registered, it means the 16% that you are being charged, you can
Mhm.
claim it. So for cash flow
Oh,
purposes, it's yeah,
okay. So
because
you also benefit
you
as
benefit.
a person who
Mhm.
is buying from your suppliers.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Your supply. You look at especially the kind of suppliers you're dealing with. If
Mm,
you're dealing with, that's what I'm saying, because sometimes your suppliers and your customers, most of the time you find they're in the same bracket.
yeah.
Okay. So if you're dealing with suppliers that charge you VAT, so it's either that, if you're not registered, that will become a cost for your business.
Yes.
Okay. But if you're registered, you can claim it back.
Okay.
Yeah. So you claim
Okay.
it back in such a way that the VAT that you're charging your customers, you net them with what
Okay.
the other guys have charged you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they give you, because you're collecting money for the government, they give you that relief. Yeah.
Okay.
But also
Yeah.
the public perception is VAT, they look at them as serious businesses. You are there to stay for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah. And also because it implies that you're a big business.
yes.
So sometimes when you're dealing with, there are people that don't want to deal with small business because they know tomorrow you open, the following day you've closed shop. So
Yes.
it gives that kind of stability and that image.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never even thought of that. Because I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, there are some new restaurants that I have seen.
Mhm,
They just open and already there's VAT.
mhm.
So I was thinking, how do they already even know and predict that they'll be
Mm.
able to earn turnover over
It's
800?
based on maybe what the numbers they've done, but or even
Maybe.
voluntary, they could
Yeah,
do.
now I'm thinking
Yeah,
some might be voluntary because
exactly.
in their line of business also they are dealing with various suppliers or various inputs to that restaurant business.
Hmm.
So maybe that's why they would volunteer. Yeah. So can a small business actually plan for tax, or is it just about paying what's due to you? Due for you. Yeah.
It's actually much easier for a small business to plan. Huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So the thing with planning for tax, I like how you phrase it. Plan for tax, or just pay what's due.
Yeah.
So the thing with tax, you plan it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I can give you an example. Like let's say for example you're putting up a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're setting up, you're registering, let's say it's a limited company, minimum share capital. So you need to, based on what are your goals or your objectives in that business, how do you want, so for example, to fund it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to how do you want to raise capital for that
Mm-hmm.
business? Let's say, can use you and Henry. You come
Yeah.
together and say, okay, the minimum share capital is 20,000, right?
Yeah.
So we incorporate a company, we have a share capital of 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you allotting yourself 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
say 10,000, 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So certain things you could do is you say, let's just allot ourselves. Let's uh, put at least even 10 or 5,000 shares should just be floating in the company. We won't allot it. Because you're looking for capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can say, we'll bring in another partner. Let's say those are your objectives.
Mm-hmm.
We'll bring in another partner. So you can bring in another partner and say, okay, we'll give you so much shares, put in so much in the company.
Yeah.
Okay. Those shares that remain, the 5,000, you can give it to him without property transfer tax. As opposed to if you had given yourselves 10,000, 10,000, you want to bring in and
Oh.
you are transferring.
Yes.
You get it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you look at things like that, where you're saying, if we're going to transfer, if we give ourselves the shares, the second transfer that we do will attract proper transfer tax. So you can be smart
Mm-hmm.
about it. Okay. Or instead of saying, let's get 50,000 shares,
Mm-hmm.
you can start it small. You say, okay, we've given ourselves 10, 10, which is 20. Then going forward, when we want a partner, we'll just increase our share capital
Yeah.
and allot the excess to
Mm-hmm.
the new guys in the business. Then also be mindful when you're setting up your own company.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the sectors. So
Mm-hmm.
what the government do is all the sectors have got tax incentives that
Yeah.
they've put to attract investment and promote growth.
Yeah.
Okay, so make use of those incentives. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if it's pos- find like some things will be, the tax rate will be lower. Make use of those.
Mm-hmm.
So look at, don't just say, oh, general trading. What specific business are you doing? Because that matters, huh?
Yeah.
Because if you say general trading, which sector are you in?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you define your business activity properly, you identify the sector, look at what are the incentives that are in that sector, then make use of those. Those will reduce your tax liability. If instead of paying at 30%, maybe you pay at a a lower rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe you can maybe get a tax holiday. People think tax holidays are for foreigners. They apply to everyone.
Really?
Yes.
Even I thought they are for foreigners.
No, so the only thing is like
Yeah.
they tell you to invest in like things like the MFAs,
Yeah.
priority sectors. Uh, you have things like industrial park or rural areas, you know. But sometimes it makes sense as well. Like if you're a big company, maybe you're putting up a manufacturing. You don't need to be in town, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually, there's
Yes.
even more space out
Yes.
there.
You can go in an outside space. The company I
Yeah.
work for, our offices are in Chilanga. There's a reason why,
Oh,
because we're dealing with trucks. There's no
yes.
point for us to be in town.
With what space in town?
Exactly. Yes. So location also matters.
Yes.
Where you're putting your business, you can
Yeah.
find that actually if you put your business in this area, you can even get a tax holiday. Let's say if you get a tax holiday for 5 or 10 years, you can use those
Okay.
things. Yeah. So that's part of tax planning that you do from the onset.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do a tax planning. Like for example, small businesses. Let's say for example, that are under turnover, right?
Yeah.
They've got so if your income is below 5 million, you're
Mm-hmm.
under turnover tax,
Mm-hmm.
with some exceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying tax uh, on your turnover.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really plan.
Yeah.
Your tax is, let's say, 5%
Of your
of
turnover.
your turnover. There's no
Yeah.
planning that you can do there.
Yeah.
The only planning you can do is on the onset.
Yes.
Okay, where you say you are clever about it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Mm.
And there are some legal and ethical tax saving opportunities that some businesses might be overlooking. The focus is on the word legal and ethical.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing my tax courses
Uh-huh,
at uni,
uh-huh.
then the lecturer said, "You're going to learn tax evasion
And
and
tax avoidance.
tax avoidance.
Uh-huh.
What you choose to do at the end of the day, it's up to you."
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, there there are a number of things that you could do, and like I said, you go back. So maybe let me mention this. If you calculate your tax
Mm,
and you say this is your number,
mm.
you don't say, okay, this is my tax liability. Then you start looking for ways to reduce it. That's why you said ZRA will pulse. If I can borrow your weight, ZRA will
Yeah.
pulse. Because that is not that's not how tax planning works.
Yeah.
Okay, tax tax planning works from the onset.
Okay.
Okay, from the onset when you are starting to say, okay, like I said, so the government recognizes, because remember the government also wants people to invest in different sectors. So for each
Mm-hmm.
sector, if you look at them, the incentives that have been given in all
Mm-hmm.
the sectors. So
Mm-hmm.
make use of those incentives that are
Yeah.
available in the sector, because those are the things that will reduce your tax liability. Okay.
Oh.
Then also just proper documentation in tax is very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's actually at the heart. Remember, we do self-assessment.
Mm-hmm.
We do self-assessment, we self-assess ourselves, and then you say, me, I owe this amount, I've
Mm-hmm.
paid to ZRI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But the only thing that supports that actually what you pay to ZRI is documentation.
Yeah.
Okay? So documentation is important in such a way that if you have properly documented all your expenses, your income, your expenses, okay, make sure anything that you need to claim as a deduction in terms of the expense, you deduct it. Okay? A lot of people leave too much things in capital allowances. They don't know how to claim capital allowances.
Mm-hmm.
You've purchased a vehicle, you've purchased an equipment, like you guys, you purchased this
Mm-hmm.
equipment that you have here. Okay, so this is me. I'm looking at capital allowances which you have not claimed.
Oh,
You see,
we need to claim capital
but you
allowances.
can only claim if there is an income that is coming from the other side.
Okay, okay, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of
Mm.
sense.
So
Yeah,
so you could make use of the incentives.
yeah,
Have document your expenses. Make sure the expenses, if your business is X Y Z,
yeah,
make sure all your businesses are invoiced in that name,
yeah.
because then it allows you to claim.
Mm.
Get all your deductions. And make sure you have an idea of the exemptions in your sector.
Yeah.
Make use of of those things. So that's the kind of tax planning. You don't calculate and then start looking to reduce the tax.
Okay. Can you share an example of an anonymous tax challenge a business faced and how it was resolved?
Yeah. Yeah, I can share one, and I think I'll link it to the importance of documentation.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
And how ZRA, if there is no documentation, they still have to assess tax. So I've
Mm.
and I'll talk about this because it was in the newspaper at some point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a friend of mine that has been trading on the copper belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a partner that they are two shareholders, just Zambian, and they were doing well.
Mm.
I think they were paying taxes around 500, 700,000 per year.
Okay.
And for a small Zambian business,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's doing well. Yeah. So I think they had grown to the point where they had an accountant. They literally employed an accountant. And you know,
Yeah.
as a business, you have an accountant. Everything you leave it with the accountant.
Yes.
Yeah. So ZRA had visited them.
Mm.
Just the normal visit. They
Mm-hmm.
went. ZRA will come and say, "Oh, look, we want to do the audit
Yeah.
for this period and this period. Please, these are the documents we would like to look at.
Yeah.
Send us this, send us that, send us that." And you know, the two guys who've got an accountant, the accountant was in there.
Yeah.
So like, oh, okay, no problem. We'll start compiling the information, then we provide it. Then uh, that same, so that was during the day. In the night, the guy gets a call that their premises has caught fire.
Mm?
Yes, that's how serious it was.
Okay.
Yes. So they rush that side with his partner and other people. The fire brigade goes there and stuff like that. They start putting off fire and stuff like that. Who gets bent in the fire? The accountant. So the accountant was caught in the fire. And the saying,
Okay.
the explanation, and it was a lady, she was badly burned. She was like in UTH like for 6 months plus. Yeah.
Eish.
Um, so apparently her explanation was, no, somebody told me there was fire at the office, so I rushed in to try and go and put it out. Then she couldn't come out of the fire and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah. But cut the long short, the long story short,
Mm.
the investigation revealed that actually she started the fire. Yes.
Really? Even risking her life.
Yes.
Why?
She started the fire, then I think she got caught in the fire. You get it, right? So that is genuine. The guys didn't know because remember they even went to push the police to do the investigation. The
Yeah.
police actually, she was in the hospital. They charged her with arson. She was even one of the newspapers carried the story. I think either Times or
Daily
Daily Mail.
Mail.
Yeah, yeah, they carried that story. And
Really?
yes, so the story was in the media. But remember, ZRA had requested for documents. They wanted to audit.
Yes.
Yes. So what do? There's a law that allows them to do an estimated assessment in the absence of documents.
Oh.
So from a moral point, you're looking at it to say, oh, but the documents have been built.
Yes.
But they have to audit, right?
Oh,
That doesn't stop them from auditing.
give these people a breather for a year. They don't have documents.
But even if you don't have documents, that's why I was talking about the importance of documents, right? What guarantee is there that the document you would have provided was sufficient?
Oh.
You understand, right?
Yeah.
So what we did was because now the ZRA did the assessment, the estimated assessment, and so normally they will look at other companies that are in your business,
Okay.
yeah, and came up with huge assessments. Remember, they were paying taxes around 500.
Yeah.
ZRA came up with taxes that were around 4 million. So if they're charging you a tax of 4 million, when you gross it up, you should be making a lot of millions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to help them, and they contacted me. So one of the things that we did, I think, to handle the situation, because I said, look, guys, unfortunately, with the way the law works,
Mm-hmm.
when the ZRA gives an assessment,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the onus is on you to show
Oh.
that that assessment is incorrect.
Yeah.
If if you can't do no, your documents are bent. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did, like I was talking about, it's constant engagement with ZRA.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did, the first thing we did is obviously we were objecting to the assessment,
Mm-hmm.
but we also entered into a time to pay agreement where we
Yeah.
say, look, we'll start. You guys, you have to start paying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as because the thing, even if you object, that assessment is still payable. You still have to
Yeah.
pay it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you win your objection, then they can refund you.
Oh.
That's how it works.
Okay.
So they say pay now, argue later. That's the principle we have.
Okay.
That's the principle. The Supreme Court has endorsed it. It's in our
Oh.
Income Tax Act.
But are they good at refunding you if it was an over?
They're supposed to, but they've had challenges in practice. But the law says they're supposed to refund you. And they're supposed to refund, I think, within 30 days. They're supposed to refund you. So now we went up to the Commissioner General. Yeah, so the assessment was reduced a bit. I think it came to around 1 point something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lesser amount that they paid, but in the absence of documentation. So sometimes you go with you don't literally win a case, but
Yes.
at least you get the best option available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think from the story that you've told, there was another story that I saw on Facebook where someone said they were looking for an accountant, and when this guy came in the interview, he said he knows everything in terms of the taxes, everything, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave him to do that, but within a few months, the
Mm-hmm.
business was bankrupt. And then, but this guy was always busy at the office and saying,
Mm-hmm.
no, everything is handled. The
Mm-hmm.
tax is paid.
Mm-hmm. So
Everything
you
is
have to
done.
be involved as the owner of the business.
But some owners think that this stuff is so technical. So
It's not.
even if you want to start explaining to them,
Mm-hmm.
they want to sort of say that's the accountant. They'll figure it out. But also sometimes not every accountant even knows
Mm-hmm.
the tax aspect, right? So I think it's increasingly becoming important that people begin to recognize the importance of actually having someone who's specialized in this particular accounting field, so to speak, because if you leave everything to just the accountant, and even job adverts
Mm-hmm.
will confuse you sometimes because they are claiming they are looking for an accountant or a finance manager, but they're telling you this person needs to do all the tax computations or the what. And in my head, I'm like, okay, the person is preparing the bank, the financial
Mm-hmm.
statements, reviewing the bank
Mm-hmm.
statements, reconciling this. They're also a tax manager within that. But I think sometimes I feel sometimes it's being too overly dependent on your accountant to know and do everything
Yeah.
because accountants sometimes specialize in certain aspects.
True. And also, look, for small business, maybe getting a tax person could be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what we're saying is it's your business, it's your money. Take
Yeah.
an interest. Like you're talking about those courses that are available. And also if you've got that good relationship with Zeda, the relationship is good if you're compliant, right?
Oh.
You can walk into their offices and ask them questions.
Oh, so you don't always need to have that tax
No, no,
consultant.
no, 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 no. You can, and I think for big companies, they are now putting managers like dedicated for certain
Oh, like
companies.
a relationship
You know,
manager,
yeah,
the way
yeah, actually,
banks
that's the
do
word.
it.
Yes, the way. But
Oh.
you can walk in and just for a chat, and you can maybe call in ZRA and ask them to say, "This is what I want. I'm trying to come through."
Yeah.
They'll you sit with somebody. Somebody will tell you about. Oh, okay. So this is my your business. Okay, so these are the taxes you register for. This is what you need to do. These are the documents that you need to. You could do that. Take an interest. You've put in your money there. So why
Yeah.
can't you take an interest in it?
Yeah.
You don't need to be an expert at it, but at least you'll be able to know when a person is telling you things that should not be. You'll be
Yeah.
able to say, no, no, that is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you mentioned something just now about how they should be able to refund you within a given time frame.
Mhm.
But are there any other ways that ZRA and the government can better support businesses?
Yes. And I think from ZRA perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing some tax education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically talking to taxpayers, because remember, non-compliance is a big issue, and it's not so much that people want to evade.
Mm.
People just don't know what to do. They'll start a
Yeah.
business. They are mechanics. They are experts in what.
Yes.
They have no clue about, and also taxes. There are too many tax types. They don't know what
Yeah.
to register.
Yeah.
You know, and also there's always the fear the moment you go to ZRA, like you use the word the pounce. That's the wrong word, by the way. So if you could have a relationship where you go to
Yeah.
ZRA, okay, or if you're a business that can afford at least somebody who's got expertise in tax,
Yeah.
okay, then at least you can get. But okay, let me just go back to ZRA. They've got these education programs that they've put in place. On their website, there's a lot of literature, there's a lot of leaflets that they've put there. They've tried to explain what it is, you know. But I think it, more has to be done, okay?
Mm.
Especially in the informal sector, because it's not everyone has got access to internet. In
Yeah.
the rural areas, people just start selling, start putting up a business there. The other one has done that. So you need at least maybe more workshops and people that can maybe communicate in different local languages
Mm-hmm.
about these stats. And also, like I explained at first, if you can convince people that we've got a social contract, we are a civilized
Yes.
society and we have to pay for this civilization, and every one of us should contribute your fair share, so that people stop looking at tax as just a cost or an extraction from your business, like you said, right? To reduce your profit,
Yes.
but it's an investment
Yeah.
in the
I think
sustainability.
we have that gap where we fail to tie it to
Yes,
the public goods that we receive.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because what happens if you don't pay? They borrow. Remember, who pays for that? Your children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it keeps
Yeah.
ongoing,
Yeah.
Yeah. So then on the government side, we've had too many tax changes of late. And now we're
Mm.
getting tax changes in the middle of during a charge year.
Mm.
So we started with there was limit in losses that you could claim against your tax profits. They brought in then they brought in restriction on your interest expenses that you can claim.
Mm.
Before you know it, they've introduced what now they are calling you've heard of MAT,
No.
like minimum alternative tax.
No.
So where they are saying, remember, for big companies, like, you pay tax on your taxable profit, right?
Yes.
So meaning a year that you've got a loss, you don't pay tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you carry those losses like for 5 years.
Yeah.
So now they've brought in a law, which I think it was effective, is it July or August?
Mm.
So now they are saying, where you've got losses,
Mm.
you have to pay 1% of your turnover as tax. Yeah.
Really?
So they are saying now you have to calculate two taxes: your corporate tax, say for
Mm-hmm.
example at 10% at 30%,
Mm-hmm.
and your 1% of your turnover.
Mm-hmm.
So 30% on your taxable profit,
Mm-hmm.
1% on your
On your
turnover.
tenor.
Whichever is the highest is what you pay.
Whichever is higher.
Yes.
But what if you made a loss?
Yeah. So then you pay the 1%. So they've literally put a floor. So they say no more the thing
Oh,
that you are not going to pay tax. Everyone has to pay.
really?
Yeah. So it's part of an anti-avoidance measure where they are saying people are creative. They
Oh, making
operate.
fake losses.
Yes.
When they've been making lots of turnover,
Yeah.
then the bottom line magically
Yes,
shows a
but you're
loss.
operating. So it's kind of and again it comes to the fact that like I said, we collect our tax to GDP. It's 16 to 18,
Yeah.
and like for us to be sustainable, you need at least about
20.
20.
Yeah.
So they are trying by all means to push, and also remember, foreign aid has been cut.
To push, but shouldn't they be targeting the same informal sector instead of just looking for more ways to tax the same formal sector that they've been taxing?
I think they are going out in. It's everything that they are doing. So the whole idea
Mm,
is to increase
the base.
domestic mobilization of revenue.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you see, they are literally going even for those they say
Yeah.
so-called formal sector.
Yeah.
Um, but also they are trying to. So remember, there's a need to increase mobilization. Remember, foreign aid has been cut.
Yeah.
We are recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, then our debt levels are also unsustainable.
Yeah.
So it's where you're like, when you look at this, like the UN, the OECD are saying, you guys need to increase your domestic revenue mobilization. You need to bring in the informal sector. You have to make sure you reduce on the non-compliance level. That's why they've invested so much in technology. Now they can track what you're doing. So right now, every time you invoice, you've got smart invoicing. They can see how much money you have invoiced.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes,
there's
yes, yes.
nothing like, oh, you sold so much, your tax is high. Then you're like, hey, I'll declare the other income in the next period.
Yes, now it's quite visible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they are really pushing to increase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
hear you.
like we need the tax policy needs to be stable and predictable. Because remember, you as a business, once you invest, you've already done your cash flow, right? So
Yeah.
like for 5 years,
Yeah,
you
you've
say these are my
projected. Yeah.
projections. So you just don't want to be interrupted and all that.
Yes, and to start replanning.
Yeah, so we need a policy that is stable.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And in conclusion, if you could give every Zambian entrepreneur one practical tax tip right now, what would it be?
Never. Okay. That side. Okay. So never ever combine your personal and business income. If you can, actually, you should always separate your business money from your personal money. In terms of if you're using bank or mobile money, open a dedicated bank account for
Mm-hmm.
business. Don't put personal money in there, because with the authority, unless you have evidence, whatever is in that account, they take it as business income.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
even your personal income is
Yeah,
gets caught up in that.
yeah.
So always separate the two. Then documentation, very important. The onus is on you to prove that the tax that you have done is correct. Remember, they want to collect more,
Yes,
you want to pay less.
yes.
So they'll give you an assessment, and it's only through documentation that you can discharge the burden of proof that actually the tax that you paid is the correct amount of tax.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm sure our audience has learned a lot about taxes. If you have any questions to do with the topic that we've been discussing today, we've been talking all things taxes and Zambian businesses. Please remember to drop your questions in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been the Money and People podcast. Bye.